Australian PM Scott Morrison wants to completely decouple the Australian economy from China. The recent ban on the Belt and Road Initiative in the Down Under country was also a step in the same direction. In response, China thought that it could use its economic retaliation and wolf warrior diplomacy to scare Australia. But it has only landed up exposing its own assertive nature and turned out to be the ultimate loser in the entire episode. In fact, Scott Morrison had laid a trap for Xi Jinping and he walked straight into it. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Rohan Sasdeva, and in this video, I'll explain how China has only landed up escalating the decoupling between Beijing and Canberra with its own economic aggression. When Australia had started standing up to Chinese authoritarianism, many analysts were predicting that Canberra wouldn't be able to withstand trade wars or another economic backlash from its biggest trade partner. But after almost a year of Sino-Australia tensions, it is Canberra which is decoupling from China. And Beijing can't do anything else but look on helplessly. Australian PM Scott Morrison wants to completely detach his country from China. In fact, over the past 1 year, Australian investments in China have gone down by a whopping 25%, even though the paper dragon has been liberalizing its financial markets in order to ramp up foreign investments. China, on the other hand, has walked straight into the trap set up by Canberra and has escalated the decoupling process with more economic aggression. To be completely precise, Australia doesn't want anything to do with the Chinese economy. Morrison neither wants Chinese investments in Australia, nor does he want Australian investors to choose China as a destination for parking their own investments. In fact, the Australian PM's decision to cancel the BRI initiative deal with China was also a step in this direction. However, decoupling from your adversary is also an art in the present-day world order of bilateral free trade agreements. In Australia's case, China could have many options to block Morrison's attempts at decoupling the economy from China. In July 1988, former Australian PM Bob Hawke had even inked a bilateral investment treaty with China. The investment deal was supposed to ensure the reciprocal encouragement and protection of investments. Article 8, Clause 1 of the 1988 treaty even read, "A contracting party shall not take any measures of expropriation or nationalization or other measures having a similar effect relating to any investment unless the measures are in the public interest, non-discriminatory, in accordance with the law of the contracting party which has admitted the investment and against reasonable compensation." Later on, in 2015, then Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull went on to sign an FTA with China. In this agreement, an investor-state dispute settlement provision was also created. An investor aggrieved by discriminatory practices can invoke the ISDS provisions. However, China got entrapped way too soon. It thought that Canberra is afraid of Chinese economic retaliation and wolf warrior diplomacy. When Canberra started criticizing Chinese aggression, Beijing started to badmouth Australia, apart from starting a trade war with tariffs on Australian products like barley, wine and coal. However, China's actions allowed the Morrison government to expose Beijing and start the process of decoupling the Australian economy from China. Even now, when Australia decided to cancel Victoria State's BRI deal, China sought to settle scores with more aggression. Rattled by Australia's actions, China suspended all the activity under a China-Australia strategic economic dialogue. Instead of stopping Morrison's plan to decouple the Australian economy, Beijing only escalated the entire process. By imposing trade tariffs and suspending activity under the strategic economic dialogue, China has only exposed its own assertive nature. Beijing has been doing much of Australia's work by expediting the process of decoupling between the two economies. Now, China has no political capital or economic leverage left to halt the process of Australian divestment from China. Morrison has set up a big trap, and it seems that Chinese President Xi Jinping has walked straight into it.